Make sure my mic's working, dude. It's not working again, is it?
Who said that?
Last step, it wasn't working, champ.
Hang on.
What's going on, dudes?
It's all good, buddy.
It's great, man.
All right, guys, how are ya? If you're wondering why we got 5 chilies here, it's big thanks to my good mate Leo.
And KFC.
And KFC. No, they didn't give us the chilies though.
They gave us the chips. The chicken nuggets.
Nuggets. We are doing our own episode of like hot ones, I'd say. We're not going to beat around the bush.
I'm fucking stressed. Dude.
He's stressing. Nick's stressing. And I'm not going to lie, dude. The hottest thing I've ever eaten is probably this, sriracha.
Yeah,
how
that's...
do you say it?
Nah, that's not that hot.
Sriracha.
I'm scared for these ones. Like.
These are fucked. My mate told me that the last one, the V-bomb, the little one here, this little beast, is 135,000 on the Scoville heat chart or some shit. Even my hands are already tingling just from that. So look, if you're listening to the audio, I'll probably advise you to jump on YouTube on our Instagram link and watch our YouTube with these chilies. So we're going to start with sriracha, but we're just going to have a general chat like hot ones would. I'm not really going to interview Nick, but we're going to talk about life and as we know it.
What's going on? What are you doing, dude?
Fuck all, man. I'm just going to fill up the chilies.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, hey, dudes. So we've got sriracha in this one, Nico.
Yep. What's the next one?
Tabasco.
Yep.
So, pretty stock standard chili. My cheeks were shaking then, and as I was shaking it.
That's hot.
Is it?
Nah, Tabasco's nothing. That's the least hottest.
Nah, sriracha is.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
Oh, you're not good with chili, are you?
I'm bad.
Oh, are you?
Are you?
No, I'm good with chili. I eat chili on my pasta and stuff.
I'm really scared. No, I have chili on my pasta.
Oh.
But not like... I'm actually...
It's not even hot at all, dude, this shit.
It's... Apparently this one is, I don't know.
I don't know, dude. The colour of the hottest one does not look right at all. It's almost like a...
This is the second to hottest. Look at the guy.
Bloody whiskey.
Look at the guy's face.
Yeah, I can smell it.
It actually says pain is good. I think Danny Trejo made this chili.
That's all right, a little drip. That's fine. Wash it out. It's all good. Just dip it. This week, man, has been a big week. Big week. It's been cool, man. Did some cool things this week, yeah.
How you going with your 21-day abundance?
Yeah, really good, dude.
Right, this one's fucked. This one is 135,000 beyond. It's called Beyond Insanity Hot Sauce. Da Bomb. It's called Da Bomb, bro. This is Da Bomb, bro.
Yeah. So, I think this week's been really cool, man. I've got some cool stories. Not really.
That's all I'm putting, because it's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, no,
it's actually ridiculous.
I'm scared.
So what's been going on this week, bro?
A lot of creative things, man. A lot of creatives. I think I said this in the last podcast, but I spoke to a friend I haven't spoken to in a long time.
Yeah.
Who's helping me out. It's good to reconnect with dudes.
Yeah.
You know what? This week's been about reconnecting. I connected with an old friend that I grew up with, connected with an old acting buddy, and you reminisce about, certain situations and whatever. And we're doing this thing now. Yeah, so it's cool, man. So if you haven't reconnected, if you're thinking about reconnecting with a friend, just reconnect. Is it hot?
Right. It's still pretty hot to me. That's still pretty hot to me, dude.
Not bad.
I'm shitting myself to do the others. Just from sriracha, who everyone on here is probably like, dude.
Sriracha's not that hot. It's actually not bad.
Nah, it's not hot, but it's still hot.
It's like potent.
Yeah, I agree, man. Reach out to people, connect with people, man.
Yeah, connect with people that you haven't spoken to for a while, or talk about things that you haven't spoken about before. It's one of those weeks. I had one of those weeks this week, man. To be honest. That's
good, man. I've been practicing the art of detachment, dude.
This week?
Just detaching myself. Yeah, this week. Just detaching myself from outcomes and really focusing on things that, like, I know for me, when I used to make like a lot of music and stuff, I used to like get very anxious about like, I need to get this done, and not rush in a negative way, but just rush myself in a positive way of like, if I rush through this, then the result will come quicker, or I can get feedback quicker.
Yeah.
Or, you know, sending an engineer all the stems to one of my tracks and, hey, man, have you done it yet? And, dude, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, let it
Today,
happen.
tomorrow, the next day, it's going to get done.
Let it happen, yeah.
You know?
I agree, man.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
It was the chili.
No, it's not clamped.
You already drunk off sriracha, dude. It's not clamped right. That's my fault. Am I sacked?
One sec.
Sorry, guys. Technical.
Yeah, so
mic's that
yeah,
way.
and like you said, man, it's good. That's a good thing, you know. Detachment, reconnecting.
Bro, loving it. Like, literally. And even little things. I've been doing all the stuff in the background that I probably won't talk about, but with music and stuff, and like little things that I used to get so hung up on, or good stuff hung up. When I say hung up, like in good stuff, like, oh man, yeah, I'm just not worried.
Dude, you know what? I just had a moment. Something talking about reconnecting and looking at stuff. I started doing a bit of research on Carl Jung.
Carl Jung, who's
at
that?
4:00 this morning. So Carl Jung's a famous philosopher. I'm not sure. Don't correct me. He's either Swiss or something like that, and he came up with a lot of theories about the consciousness, like your subconsciousness and your consciousness that you don't know about. He was the creator of that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And I listened to a guy called Adrian Peterson.
Wow.
Now, not Adrian Peterson, sorry. That's the NFL player. Is that the NFL player? Anyways, doesn't matter. Anyways,
Pedersen.
Yeah, something Pedersen. Anyways, Carl Jung's famous philosophy, one of his famous findings was this thing called the shadow.
Wow.
That every human has a shadow.
Just sounds buzzed out.
Yeah, right.
You gotta go to Tabasco.
So he's basically saying, one of Carl Jung's famous things is that in order to be good and know good, you must know hell. Like, you must know the bad.
Wow.
Right? And so in order to be a good person, you must know the dark side, like a balance thing.
Came to the light from the darkness, brother.
Right? Yeah, no, but this is like intense. Like, this is to the point of like, he even said, the guy speaking of Carl Jung's philosophy said that, he goes, I can relate to Adolf Hitler. Like, there is a monster within me, and I must know the monster within in order to be good.
That's dark.
Nah, but you know what? If you think about it, it's not that dark. Because you look of acts of murder and you look of acts of fucking terror. Right? I'm talking monster. And if a human is capable of that, in his imagination, then we all are. And that's what he was saying. He was saying that, he goes, oh, but you know, if you don't believe in heaven and hell, that's fine. But in order to manifest or create heaven and hell, we as human, as society, created these images in our mind to create.
Yeah.
We created them. So on some level, we see them, believe them, have them in our mind.
Yeah.
So it's the same with terror, and it's the same with amazing, miraculous, good things. So he reckons there's a big belief, if you can understand your shadow, like if you can understand the depths, then you can. His basic philosophy is this: the tree that reaches to heaven, its roots reach to hell.
Fuck.
So think about that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's actually.
And you know what? Why are so many of us so intrigued by watching these murderers and stuff on Netflix?
Yeah, well, you have to ask yourself.
Jeffrey Epstein.
You have to ask yourself.
Everyone wants to watch it.
Can I relate to these things?
Yeah.
You will. Like people killing other people.
Next
You will
source,
relate.
bro.
Next source.
Tabasco. You're right.
People.
So
You know
much is hotter than Tabasco,
What
by the way.
is it?
Yeah.
No, no way.
Go on. That's hotter than that.
That's not hot.
That's hotter than that?
Yeah, way hotter.
Yeah. That's right. We fucked the orientation around. That's all good.
Have some.
I had it.
Oh, did it?
We're going to the next one? Not yet. Wait.
Anyways,
I'm nervous.
so ask yourself the question next time when you watch Jeffrey Epstein, you watch murder cases. Like I love like CIA Channel and all those kind of like Ted Bundy and like understanding the mind of a killer, because we're all capable of this on some level, and that's what Carl Jung's philosophy is. You're all capable of murder and terror and the monster that is within.
Yeah, and some people probably disagree because they don't want to believe that.
Yeah, but just face
But
it.
you are, because if you can sit there and watch something and be intrigued on some level, your brain is capable as a human being.
Next time that you see terror and monster and something outrageous, ask yourself this question: how do I relate to this? And be honest with yourself. Why do I connect to this? Yeah, you could say I want to save this person's life, whatever, but how do you connect to the monster? That's the question you got to ask yourself.
Fuck, you're getting deep, dude.
Dude,
Is
it's
it
pretty
'cause
cool.
You're eating like devil hot chili? So you're getting deep.
No,
on
but
the devil level?
I watched this interview and I was looking at it. It was 4 o'clock this morning. I was looking at it for about half an hour. I was like, wow, and this makes sense. Especially that philosophy that the tree that reaches heaven, its roots reach hell.
Yeah, that's a great line.
Yeah, because everything is super balanced. And it's like you can only know good if you've seen the bad, and so you can only be the best person if you understand and see the worst.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I actually watched the video this morning of Tyler the Creator,
Right.
and he goes, I don't feel the need to give out hate because I'm so secure with myself.
Right.
So for those people like Hitler and stuff like that, they were so insecure on some level, whether it could have been anything about themselves, that they felt the need to live within hate.
Yeah.
You know?
For
Is there
sure.
enough shitty in
Yeah,
there
there is.
That's we're going to try the Arizona Gunslinger.
Yeah, we're gonna try the Arizona.
Are you scared?
I'm a little bit scared, dude.
I'll go first.
I think you need it for a bit more.
Nah.
Okay, go for it.
It's scary, man.
Go taste it.
Oh, fuck. It's on there.
Is it hot?
It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's a bitch fucking move, man.
Who, me?
Nah, these guys, they think it's hot, but it's actually not.
Nick's acting tough. Hot? Arizona Gunslinger.
Not even hot at all.
Not hot, not that hot.
That was hotter. The sriracha was hotter.
I think Sriracha has been the hottest so far. Well, so far.
These next two don't look normal. This looks like a
I need to
flagon.
pour a little bit of that back in there.
This looks like Clint Eastwood's glass, whiskey from, City Slickers, whatever movie he was
I
in.
didn't have a cracker.
So I did a bit, it's funny we do research at 4 a.m. in the morning. How many times do people get up in the morning and it's like 3:30 and you're watching the most absurd videos or the most bizarre, situations?
Bro, last night I watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, right.
Haven't watched it properly in years.
Yeah.
Right? Phenomenal film. Brilliant story. Fucking brilliant actors. Man, Jack Nicholson, Danny DeVito, Christopher Lloyd. What's the chick's name? Fisher. Mate, what a story, right? And mind you, we're big on mental health. No, you're right. We're big on mental health. Mental health at this time, this movie was A, made, and B, set in that scene. Mate, they were giving people bloody medication that they didn't even need.
Yeah.
They were testing people just by their attitude. The fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And man, the ending fucked with me, dude.
The ending of the film.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie.
Nah, don't kill it for them, man. What if they haven't seen it? What if they haven't seen it?
Dude, it's from 1973. I can't be worried about spoilers.
Some people might not have been around.
Nah, you got to go to 3 months.
Tell them.
Joe Rogan's got a 3-month rule. Once the movie's been out for 3 months, it's your problem.
Yeah.
They give him a fucking lobotomy at the end because he puts his hands on the main antagonist of the film.
Wow.
Dude, he comes back to bed at 2 a.m. and he's a vegetable.
Yep.
He's like, love. Dude, they were giving people lobotomies without even checking records, and dude, there was no civil rights. If you were mentally challenged on any level, psychotic or have any mental health issues of anything, mate, they would just give you a lobotomy without even consulting anybody around you.
Well, they did that.
50s
They
and
did that to
60s.
JFK
JFK's sister.
and his brother. But his brother, when his brain went missing, his brother
Who?
Bobby.
No.
Yeah. His brain went missing.
What do you mean?
Bobby's brain's gone. The what they did the
You're
research
talking
on.
about in the post though, like in post life.
Yeah, afterlife. Yeah.
Have you heard about his older sister?
No, what happened?
Oh, okay.
That's
So
I want to go back to that conspiracy as well. That family's cursed. I don't know.
hang on.
What's the name's son?
Now, let me tell you something about, if you're a believer in karma, you're going to love the story. So I wanted to bring this to you today because last night, it's funny you said you got pulled down a rabbit hole looking up YouTube videos.
Yeah, buzzed out.
Last night, after I finished Cuckoo's Nest, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I was blown away. It was midnight, and I get in bed. I end up going to bed at 1:30.
Right.
Not 4 a.m.
Yeah.
like you, but...
I was buzzed out.
Dude, I'm looking up a lobotomy still performed. I look up who was making lobotomies. Some guy called Freeman. He reinvented the lobotomy. He wasn't cutting skulls open anymore. He was getting an ice pick and putting it through the top of your eye socket and just fiddling with shit in your frontal lobe. Fiddling like that, just stabbing shit.
Not while the guy's alive.
Yeah, some people were alive when it was happening.
Well, you know what's funny? That just to cut you off again, what's funny to say that? There was this lady in Italy I saw yesterday that was having brain surgery, but you actually still function.
Oh.
Do you know why? Do you know why you still
have
function?
to stay alive.
Yeah, no, because they want to see your mechanics. So they open up the back of your head, but they want to see that you still operate. Because if they do brain surgery under the full anaesthetic, and then you come out and you can't move, they've made a big mistake.
Yeah.
So they want to know nerve endings. Anyways, keep going.
So I'll keep going. So, and her name was Rosemary Kennedy.
Yep.
Okay, so one step. So I'm looking up. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, go. Rosemary.
So
Kennedy.
I'm looking up. So I'm looking up all this lobotomy stuff. So I'm like, how can you just do this to somebody? So the first.
So explain to people what a lobotomy is.
So lobotomy is where they go into your brain with like utensils and disconnect pieces of your nerves in your brain, so you can't keep functioning. So basically, in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, he keeps causing an uprising, giving the other patients who are, suffering from mental health on a level of, schizophrenia and severe stuff.
Yeah.
But they aren't, they're still, they're still being able to, you can work with these guys, you can put the baseball on for them, they won't watch they won't let them watch the baseball, and they treat them like fucking animals. And he's like, no, like everyone deserves to enjoy their life. Like you guys are all chatting, like we're playing cards. Anyway, he gets out of hand, they cut open his skull at the top, you don't really see it, they unplug his stuff, he becomes a vegetable. So I go down this rabbit hole. Man, this Freeman guy, he goes, no, I've got a quick way. So he's, like I was saying before you cut me off, they get ice pick. And that's not even something you can even use in a hospital. It's it's from your house.
Yeah.
He'd hold down, get the person held down, stab it above your eye, in your socket, in your brain.
Yep.
Keep going on one side for a couple of seconds. So he's not even looking at what he's cutting, by the way. Then go on the other side and do it. This guy performed over 450 lobotomies. One third worked. The other 2/3
gone.
Died.
Wow.
They died. So he's basically stabbing brains in, this Freeman fuckwit. So anyway, sorry guys, I'm distracted because we don't have a Jamie from Joe Rogan, what's his name? Freeman. So yeah, Walter Jackson Freeman. He is a piece of shit, just quietly, or loudly. He popularized the lobotomy. Something you really want to be known for. Don't think so. Anyway, dude, the eldest sister in the Kennedy family, so John and Robert's sister, was young. She had like some signs of schizophrenia.
Right.
Acted up a lot with her attitude and stuff, and she used to be a bit of a rebel child. Right.
Right.
The dad goes, we're gonna get her lobotomized because it could ruin my political image and my son's.
Wow.
So it's funny how you said the family's cursed.
Well, look at what's name in the
looks
plane.
like karma, bro.
The plane accident.
Looks like karma, bro.
Why?
Dude, this girl, they didn't even want to work with her, man. They just fucking sent her off
Yeah,
for
but
lobotomy.
that's at that era, man. That time.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, because they chose to ignore the situation was a problem rather than trying to discover what was actually wrong. Now they give you meds.
And even the story of how they did it to her, I think
she was probably just an unwell kind of, it's 2005.
She ended up dying, but she was a vegetable.
Well, that's like the Kennedys that were involved in the plane accident.
John's son.
Yeah,
JFK
John's son.
Jr.
JFK Jr. Man, he
dude.
His wife. I remember that. It was like 97, 98. They went down in a plane accident.
I just want to tell you this. Look what these guys said about Rosemary Kennedy. She became increasingly irritable and difficult at age 22. Is that severe to lobotomize her?
Yeah. Well, that
she didn't bash anybody. She didn't fuck, man. Anyway, and then they just thought that she was going to sleep with men and stuff.
And stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, they did the lobotomy and she was institutionalised for her whole life from 22 to 8.
That's a pretty intense way.
And they never visited her either until the dad passed away.
Wow.
So there's a lot of hidden stuff, man. And I feel like I'm a big believer in like when you're not aware of that stuff and you hide that stuff away, it eats at you for your life, man.
Of course.
You know.
They were just so worried about pollution. They were gonna go again.
Exactly. You're gonna go the hot one. Oh my god! Don't put too much, man. Oh my god, that's a lot.
No, it's not.
Is it hot?
Not really, man.
Really?
No.
Don't just say that to me.
I'm actually being serious. For me, it's not that hot. No, it's not really that hot. It's like burning, but it's not hot. Not for me.
That's pretty hot, man.
It's not bad. I'm used to chili.
Woo!
Are you serious? Yeah, maybe I'm used to it.
Put it on the tongue.
That one's not that bad.
You put it on your tongue?
Yeah, of course. All the way on my back. Back of my tongue's all on it. That's where it sits. I'm gonna try the next one. Fuck it.
You go straight in.
Yeah. Or do we wait?
We can wait. How long have we been going here, boys and
I don't
girls?
know. Check them there.
20 minutes. Yeah, no, we can wait.
Yeah, it's good to look at. Yeah, it's
Dude,
back.
that's hot, man.
No, that was good for me. I'm alright.
It's
Yeah.
like I put one drop, like one dab on purpose on the tongue, and
Yeah.
it's just gone up and to the back and to the tip.
Yeah, right. Mine's not hot.
And then the rest of it all went on my tongue. It's nice though. It actually
Yeah,
tastes
it's
really nice.
actually quite potent though. But it's potent, but not hot.
It tastes really nice, man.
Anyways, back to what
But
I was.
I'm not sweating. Sorry, I've
Yeah.
had chili where I'm like.
Nah, yeah, that's.
But
that's
I'm not struggling that bad here, dude.
I reckon you put on a meal would be hot.
Oh yeah.
That'd be burnt. Whew. Anyways, we do this at 4 o'clock in the morning. We get up, and then you go on your phone or you go on your computer, and you start looking up things, and then it rabbit hole to you start going down this deep.
Mate.
I was like, at one moment I was watching like everyone does this. I was watching basketball highlights. The next moment I'm looking at if the devil is real. Then the next moment I'm looking at like this Carl Jung. You know, the Carl Jung philosophy, which is really cool. And you know, you're spiraling out of control. But it was good. I liked it. It's cool to educate yourself and like open up your mind to certain like people have different philosophies, man. You'll be surprised.
I don't like getting caught up in the conspiracy stuff.
Nah.
Like, interesting stuff like that. Like I didn't even know these guys had a sister, number one.
Yeah.
And like, man, I think that's worse for the family than letting her live her own life.
Yeah,
that's
it's
how
terrible.
I felt anyway.
It's terrible.
And basically just, you know.
Well, the whole JFK assassination, you know, it's a tough one, man. I showed you that interview with that mobster on
Yeah.
on
What's his name? Sammy the Bull.
No, not Sammy the Bull, it was another one. It was part of the Colombo crime family. It's really interesting, man. And his dad was one of the heads. And his dad slept with Marilyn Monroe. He was having an affair with Marilyn Monroe, remember? His dad was. And they were involved in the mafia.
Yeah.
His dad told him that they pretty much knocked off JFK.
Dude, there's no doubt in my mind that
I think it was a lot of people.
The mob didn't have something to do with it.
A powerful president like that, a lot of people had a lot to do with that, man. It was a combination of situations or a combination of people. It was like a conglomerate of like just heads of families,
Dude.
CIA, Russia. Everyone wanted him gone for one reason. And that's the sad
weird
thing.
is it? How weird is it? How we like we're in Adelaide, Australia, and we're so fascinated by everything American. We're from their stars, from their conspiracies.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein's American, John F. Kennedy's American, Rosemary. Like think about the things we mentioned. You know, Dave Chappelle's American.
Yeah, all of them. We're heavily influenced.
Do you know what I mean? We're heavily influenced, and we worry about what's going on in the world.
Well, just America, really.
In America,
Everything's related
even
back.
on a personal level. Oh, did you see this guy got pulled up on a tweet? Oh, fuck, it hurts me.
I know.
Oh, fuck, poor Kevin Hart, man, that's fucked.
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude, I'm in Adelaide. You know,
What's that
it's
gotta do,
compassion and stuff, and people that influence you and stuff like that.
But I suppose, you know, there's a big driver from the Western side of that. Like that, America pretty much is the Western world.
Yeah, true.
America. When you think
leader.
Western world, you think America.
It's the leader.
And that's the kind of thing, man. Talking about America, I was actually having an interesting conversation with my grandfather. You'll be able to relate to this too. I was talking to my grandfather the other day, And it's funny, man, when you know, you speak to us in 20 years' time, we'll probably talk about the coronavirus, or when we were younger, this happened, and, you know, the internet came in. I remember when Instagram started.
Yeah.
And when you speak to your grandfather, it's always about World War II, because he's around that age now, 86.
Well,
He was a bit younger. He was about 14 when this was, he was about 10, 11 when World War II. But his depiction of his town and what it looked like. And he told me this interesting fact that I didn't know about, and I'm going to do a lot of research about after this at 4 a.m. in the morning. But he was saying, you know, he goes, I remember when America came into the war, and Italy, he goes, we swapped sides. You know, Italy was with Mussolini. Not many people liked Mussolini.
The fascist regime, they didn't want to be. People didn't want to be.
Yeah, and people forget that Italy sided with Japan and Germany, you know, and we're with that fascist kind
Mussolini was a fascist.
Yeah, that regime where we'll take over the world. And my grandfather was saying that Japan was looking at Asia, looking at Australia to dominate that land, whereas Germany and Italy were looking at the whole of Europe. And he goes, America came in, and that's when it all changed. And he goes, I remember sitting in the paddocks, in the farms, and he goes, it was towards the end of the war, a couple of years left. He goes, I remember seeing the whole sky was black with planes. The whole sky was just full of planes, and he's like, he goes, it was like the atmosphere was vibrating back down. Anyways, he told me this interesting fact that there was this group of vigilantes, a part of the Italian army called the Partisans. Wow. Have you heard of this?
No.
So they're almost like the Avengers were to, like, you know the Avengers?
Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards. They're called the Partisans, right? They are they went around when America had come in, they went around to towns on their own killing German soldiers before they turned on them.
Because you got to remember too, Italy was, and a lot of Germans were the same. A lot of Germans weren't interested in being Nazi. It's like if the Labour Party took over our country and decided to attack someone or perform a genocide or whatever, we're not going to be part of that. We're going to fuck these dickheads. And look, there's a lot of people in the wrong, a lot of people in the right. And at the end of the day, it was the same thing in Italy. They hated Mussolini, man. They hung him. They're like, look what you fucking did to
this is the interesting fact. So the partisans went around killing all the Germans. And my grandfather goes, they were the group that actually killed Mussolini.
Yeah,
100%. They were the vigilante
I've been to
group.
where they hung him. They didn't even put a plaque up.
Yeah, and
it's in Milan.
And it brought Italy back, and obviously the post-World War II and all that kind of stuff. But it's very similar to the Avengers. The Avengers were a group of Jewish vigilantes that were with the American army, and they were called the Avengers, and that's where the superheroes started. And it was kind of cool to see, and it relates back to today, how there are groups of people that want to change the world or that are working on their own. And it's quite powerful, man. And you know, there'd be, you know, I don't know how many group members they had, but you know, there'd be descendants of the partisans that would know stories of killing Germans and all that kind of crazy stuff. 100%. It's cool. Let's do the chili.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? You were gonna say something?
Oh, and I was just gonna say how cool that both of our grandparents, both of our grandparents grew up together in the same town.
Yeah.
And my nonno had the story of like when he was young. They had like a...
Oh, you got that too much?
I don't know. Is there a little bit left for me?
No, you got to put some more in. Okay, guys, this is the hottest one.
This is the hottest one.
This is fucked.
Shaquille O'Neal had this and said it was the real deal. And Joey Diaz on Hot Ones, so... Is it that hot or not? Uh-huh.
That's fucked.
No.
Oh my god, that's hot.
I can't have it, dude.
No, that's fucked. No, my eyes are watering.
I can't have it.
No, I went in the back of my throat and I was like, it was like a fireball. No, that's actually one of the most fucked up things I've ever had. No, you can have more than that.
Dude, I'm scared.
I had a lot. More. Across.
Are you serious?
My eyes watering? Yeah. No, it's fucked. Right to it hits. The back of your throat is fucked.
Oh my god.
that's
I can't
fucked.
move.
That's fucked. Get that shit away from me, man. My nose is running.
Oh my god. Oh. Dude, what? How do you talk? How do... Oh my god. Dude, it's ridiculous.
It's way hotter than that one. 10 times hotter.
The bomb.
Is that the hottest one in the world?
Nah, man. It's 135,000 on the Scoville. They got 1 million.
Ah, fuck.
Oh my god. I don't remember what we were talking about.
It's like, you know what happened? This chili here, I want everyone to try. It just seeps into your lungs or something.
Oh! Dude, I'll put this much.
Nah, it's fucked.
I'll put a drop, guys.
I put way too much. I try to be a hero.
I think Leo set it up on purpose. These are nowhere near as bad. Oh my god.
Nah, it's disgusting. It's cooling down though, but it's still there.
Oh my god, it just lit the sides of my mouth up.
You know when you let your mouth just salivate? It's just like, ugh. It's like dripping. I can't even feel my mouth. Anyways.
Oh, we need milk.
Anyways, yeah, so it's funny, man, the stories that people tell and stuff.
Well, they're going back. Our grandparents were, our nonnos. Our nonnos were from the same town, in Altavilla, in Avellino, outside of Napoli, Campania, not far from Napoli. And when my nonno didn't want to go out to the farm and do like, you know, work on the cattle and stuff, he used to sleep at his nonnos. It wasn't like, you couldn't call him and say, get home. He just didn't rock up. So he used to sleep at their nonnos, and I went to his grandparents' house in Altavilla in 2013, and I sent a photo.
How do they do it with no phones?
I did it, bro.
Think of, okay, I want everyone to think right now, if you're in the car or watching this at home,
It's so hot.
take your phone away for the rest of your life and try and hang out with people and try and communicate with people. You wouldn't know what to do.
No, you wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, they were at the Campanias, which was like, Campania's like the country.
Well,
You 15-minute like drive, man.
what we have to do, how do you pick up women? How do you go, yeah, call me later?
You do like Rocky. Hello, hey, Adrian. Like out the window.
No, you know what, or you give me your house number and go, call it this time, I should be home. It's
I
like
didn't
a
I didn't
risk.
think I had house numbers
Man.
then. 1950.
No, I'm talking about like even like the 70s, 60s, 70s. What do you do?
My dad reckons in the 80s and that, they used to just be like, I'll meet at the park at 7.
Fuck, you really had to trust your mates.
Yeah, not like now.
Now, dude, some guys don't even write back a text like, yeah, he's not going. What if you rocked up and he goes, yeah, I'll be there?
What about now? If someone doesn't rock up at 7, you ring them and they can't write back, I'm late. You start wigging out.
Or he goes,
Start calling my auntie and shit, where's my little cousin, where is he?
the best one is you're there already, and then you message him and he goes, I'm parking. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake, man, how long does it take to park? But he's told you where he is.
Back then it was like, where the fuck is he? Oh, we've got to make tracks.
And you're going to leave. That's the problem, you just leave. That's the difference, man. Communication was very poor.
I feel like you can't get stood up.
Even in World War II, how would you? I know Morse coding and they could track and they tapped in, but you know, tactically, it was a mind fuck. Even about Vietnam, man, I learned some new stuff about the Vietnam War as well.
I want to watch the Five Bloods. This
Yeah,
weekend.
that's gonna be good, man. The Vietnam War is very interesting, man. So it was South Vietnam versus North Vietnam, and South Vietnam were the sort of like the people's people. You know what I mean? Like the very like land people.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know if you're talking to me or the camera.
The camera as well, both. Like the left wing and then the right wing. They've got separate flags.
Of course.
So what happened was, America got involved. And they came in, literally, this is the story from a Vietnamese woman that told me this, girl, that the America came in and they go, we'll take the North down for you. And the South's like, okay, this is how you fight, this is how you fight. No.
Yeah,
Right.
I've heard this.
Sit down.
I know this.
You guys are peasants, pretty much. We know what we're doing. And America got demolished at the start. I don't know about the whole duration.
They said it was the worst thing America's ever done in their military history was going into the Vietnam War.
Because they were fighting dudes that know the land.
Dude, know the land. You'd have 5 or 6 big Americans, 6 foot. Dude, that meant fuck all. The guy would pop out of a tunnel and spray the fuck out of
Yeah,
him.
they had tunnels. They had certain fighting. The
Guerrilla
way they,
tactics.
yeah, the way they ambushed
Guerrilla
and
tactics,
stuff.
jumping off a tree onto your neck, slice your throat open.
Wow, man, they made a big mistake there, man. Massive mistake.
The Americans were big boys, man. Like,
Yeah.
They've always been big race, and it's their mindset. They've always wanted to be big. So look at what happened. You create it,
Yeah.
right? And fuck. Going back to war and that. My nonno, his stories about World War II in the same town. Funnily enough, he remembers them. He remembers 3 American soldiers walking through the Campania there, the land, with their guns, everything. And they're like, hey, guys, and they were really friendly. And he goes, we sat him down, and basically the unspoken rule was you feed us, you let us drink whatever you want. And we don't hurt you. But you let us live in your house.
Yeah.
Right? My nonno goes, he reckons they went through 2 barrels of wine.
Yeah, they
3 dudes.
Yeah.
Like 2 nights or some shit. I don't know if that's scientifically. It was a lot. He goes, Steph, he goes, I'm not joking you. Fuck, man. He goes, and they just drank all night. And they just loved it. Like, his mum was making pasta and they loved all of it. And you gotta remember too, a lot of the Italians were already migrated to
America.
And there was a lot of like Italians copped a lot of, I actually saw an article today, Italians in the 1880, 1890, they copped a lot of racism too.
Right.
There was some that wanted to work on some sites in Washington, and there was an actual statutory, I've got the letter here, a claim saying no Italians to work on any job sites.
Of course, yeah.
So, but obviously what happened when they went to war and stuff like that, the Italians pledged allegiance, and then after World War II...
World War
One, and then after World War II, then that was it. Like, it was like, you know, like Italian Americans now, man, they're not like Italian Australians.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They don't do the sauce. They don't, like, it's different. They're from Yonkers, you know.
Yeah, and even us, you know, it's just
even
changing.
us. But I find us, we still watch like Serie A and stuff. They don't like. They're just NFL.
Yeah, but they're very. We don't. Australian culture is very fresh, new.
True, very true.
Very new, man. We have like a new kind of. But to be honest, man, I'm Australian. Like
Of course.
I'm you know what I mean?
Of
Like,
course
I
you
recognise with Australia.
Well,
so I represent Australia. You know.
Of course you do. But someone said something to me too. He's like, everyone, even people that came here at 20 from India, that is a citizen. You are Australian as soon as you become a citizen. Doesn't mean you have to let go of your culture, and that's the motto. I am, you are, we are Australian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I agree. I agree with not letting go of the culture, 100%.
Yeah.
I think it's a vital part because it's.
I think that's what makes Australia great.
Yeah,
You've got
it's the
Italians, Greeks,
multiculturalism.
you know,
Everything. Eastern Europeans,
Eastern,
Asians,
everything, man.
like different parts of Asia, Southeast Asia, East Asia,
African,
yeah, Africa,
everything, man.
South Americans, you know.
Everything. So, and I think that's what makes Australia great, man.
I agree, man, and I think you know, it's a mix of things. You know, even Aboriginal communities, man. Like it's so diverse
100%.
here. It's very diverse, and that's what's the beauty about this country, man. You know, think about if Japan actually attacked Australia, World War II, it'd be a different. You know, our grandparents probably wouldn't have migrated here. You know, there would have been a different changing of guard. You know, so it's kind of cool.
Of course not. Well, my nonno on my mum's side was thinking of going to America, but it was quite a lot of Italians had already gone. So the second was Argentina.
Right.
That wouldn't have been, you know, a good choice.
Yeah, correct.
It's
Well,
tough,
it's a
man.
third world country, man, out there.
Third world country.
Most of South America's third world. You know, they had their riches though. You know, we're doing like a geographical episode, but good friends of mine, Venezuelan, and in the 80s, Venezuela had a lot of money, man.
Of course.
A lot of wealth from oil, and
America went through there too.
Yeah, and it gained a lot of momentum. But it was taken by the wrong people, wrong powers, supported still by America, and it's twisted its tail.
America does that, man. They go where the money is, you know. Like, they create fake wars over things just for oil.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
It's terrible, man.
It's pretty intense.
Even the Saddam Hussein thing, you could tell most Americans will tell you, man, that was not on.
Yeah, man, and it's true, man. And you know what's cool too? There's a lot of vigilante armies around the world in certain countries too, man. Like in Lebanon, the Hezbollah. You know, that stand for like what they stand for. They've always like taken over the country in some parts. So correct me if I'm wrong. You know, Lebanese people, but they're a predominant part of the country now, and they're predominant speak. Like they set the rules, what they want within the country, and you know it's kind of crazy, man.
Man, the world's always changing. It's always moving. Different things happening. Like I was looking at an old photo of Iran.
Yeah.
In like 1950, like 6 or something. Dude, it looked like America. It looked like LA. Chicks with like Farrah Fawcett haircuts or whatever, 60s, 70s.
Yeah,
sorry.
I've heard that about
Fawcett
Iran.
haircuts. It looked like something out of fucking Austin Powers, dude.
Well, Lebanon and Iran have a close relationship.
And then they showed a photo 50 years later.
Yeah, wow.
Dude, completely different. Obviously, Islam became more prominent in Iran.
Yeah.
But it changed the whole look of the nation. Well, completely different look.
I think Islam's been big there, but I think they shifted and then it didn't work. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the holy place, Iran, for a lot of imams, which are like a lot of like prophets of the Muslim culture. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it shifted, and then they went, "What the hell?" You know?
Yeah. Like it was really weird looking at the photos, but anyway,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, 70s, man.
I didn't know that.
You can Google it. Iran back in the day and now, and like man, like. It looks like LA. Like it looks like, you know, 70s LA, once upon a time in Hollywood. That's the style.
Wow.
The clothing, the men, the women, short skirts, high boots.
I didn't know that.
And that's why we've got Persian friends.
Yeah.
They speak with an American
Iranian,
accent.
yeah.
And I go,
Do you see? That's nothing. Do you call them they're Iranian or Persian?
A lot of them call themselves Persian.
Persia's the old.
A lot of them call themselves Persian. So maybe they left because they don't like how it's run now.
Or how Iran became Iran. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I know the few people I've spoken to, they're like, we identify as Persian because like, and they wanted to leave their country as well.
Right.
You know, but also, what was I saying? I forgot. Oh, they speak with an American accent. That's how they learn their English, because they've got a heavy influence with pop culture, American pop culture. Like, mate,
it's like Japan as well.
Mate, my Persian friend, he could tell me more about Seinfeld, Friends, all that more than us.
Yeah.
And he goes, we love it. And obviously that's embedded in them. Yeah. So maybe his great-grandmother or grandmother in the 70s was cruising around, smoking a joint, listening to the Beach Boys. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
That, and then, all of a sudden, everything went somewhere else, but then the grandson's so intrigued by that.
Yeah, correct.
What do you mean this is a photo of grandma? She doesn't look like my mum. My mum's dressing totally different. Oh, well, she's not allowed to dress like that anymore.
It's true.
But why was my grandma allowed to dress like that? And
Correct.
you're 12 and you're asking these questions. Oh, that's because... And then you tell the story, oh, fuck, I want to go to America.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true. It's different. And, you know, every country, man, it's funny, though, heavily influenced by the Western world and America. You know, a lot of countries.
One thing I want to wrap up on, what do you think of Dave Chappelle's
826?
826.
I thought it was really cool, man. It's not funny. Like I at the start, like not that it's not funny. Like I was like, oh, should I laugh here? Should I not laugh here? But he was quite like, he was very honest, man.
A few of the jokes at the start I laughed because they were just normal jokes, and then after I feel like he dropped jokes. He just dropped them.
Yeah, I think everyone should listen. Everyone should watch it, man.
And
it's on Netflix. It's about 21 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tells some incredible stories about how when certain people tried to do the right thing and go the right way, they were just shut out. And then
the shooter?
Yes.
The LAPD. What's his name? I looked that up this morning as well because I watched Dave Chappelle before I rabbit hole that thing too. What was his name?
I forgot.
Oh, he tried to do the right thing, man.
He tried to do the right thing for ages, and then once he got rejected, he sent a letter out. He said Dave Chappelle's name.
Yep.
Man, he ended up shooting a lot of police.
That wasn't 1993, by the way. Oh no, sorry, that was in like the early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked it up. Sorry.
So it's probably when Chappelle Show was going.
Yeah, it was pretty intense, man.
In the world.
Yeah, but I think everyone should watch it, man. It's an eye opener.
It's an eye opener, man, because Dave Chappelle is
comedic genius.
Comedic genius and a great person, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know, and for me, Dave Chappelle, man, everyone relates to that guy, dude.
Yeah, they do.
Everybody, man. He's just so good.
Powerful too.
He's so powerful. And when he speaks, it's not from a place of like power either. He's powerful, but speaking from, and he said it, he goes, I'm just a normal dude. I'm just an average Joe, man. And he can come out and, you know, you got to listen to it, man. You got to listen to it. You got to watch it. It's actually quite moving. It's quite disturbing too. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I think this is a good time for everyone to educate themselves and empower themselves I'm not saying choose a side or like
Nah.
become something that you're not. I'm saying just fucking listen to stuff, man. People need to listen to things. We're in the beautiful age where we can tap information at any point, whenever we want. 4 a.m. in your bed.
And I think a lot of the
Get off the
right
porn,
now,
dude.
I think a lot of the thing right now is just drop your ego. Like you
Whatever.
Nah, seriously, you don't know. Just listen and learn.
Yeah,
Seriously, man.
I agree, dude.
Even me today, listening to Dave Chappelle, I wasn't going to go work out why this cop lost his fucking, his badge. Nah, man, it's not my business. Let's just hear the story. He tried to do the right thing after losing his ability to be a police officer, and they just shut him out. And then that was it. He just
watch it, man. Watch it. Watch it. Watch Dave Chappelle.
Check it out. Anyway, guys,
thank you.
These are all not bad. This here will fuck you up.
Ruin your life.
This chili, the bomb, Beyond Insanity hot sauce. You can Google it if you're listening on audio. We started with hot habanero peppers and blended them with smoky chipotle peppers and natural pepper extract to create a sauce that was lab tested at 135,600 Scoville units. Wicked beyond belief. Warning, this sauce is extremely hot. Keep out of reach of children. Consume 1 drop at a time.
I had 2 drops.
You had 2
and
drops?
a
2
half
or 3?
drops. Yeah, you know what's actually burnt a little hole in my esophagus. I'm not